The star of Disney's Marvel Studios, Captain America Brave New World, not to be confused with New World Order, a movie that may not have Captain America in it. It seems that he doesn't want this movie to be associated with America either, and he thinks the character of Captain America should not be described as America. Well, let's talk about that, and also Anthony Mackie's apology for it here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is a person who I would describe as American, Mr. VashSky. How's America doing for you today?
America's doing just fine. Inspirational, people of higher integrity, all those things that apparently aren't associated with America, very interestingly enough.
Right. Well, you know, it's interesting. They do have a character named America in Doctor Strange Mom, right? The multiverse of madness there. So maybe, I don't know if they would have her described as America either. This seems like they're really struggling here. It's like that G.I. Joe movie that made them an international peacekeeping force and not so American. Maybe we can get a real American hero series going sometime in the next little while. But we want to talk about Anthony Mackie. So we covered this on Morning Magic, and I think the analysis was good. And then Anthony Mackie apologized. So let's get to that first, and then we'll talk about Anthony Mackie's poorly fonted response. Marvel can't seem to get out of their way when it comes to advertising. We're not just talking about Captain America Brave New World. Daredevil is getting roped into this as well. Let's go over here to That Park Place. Captain America Brave New World star Anthony Mackie tells European audience characters should not represent America. I think I see the problem here, guys. That is Captain America's shield. That is Captain America's uniform. And there's a falcon on the back of it. I don't understand what's going on here. Anthony Mackie, the actor currently portraying Captain America in Captain America Brave New World, has stirred up controversy with recent comments that many view as dismissive of the character's foundational connection to the United States of America. In a press event held at Hotel della Ville in Rome, Italy, Mackie claimed to the European audience, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. Go ahead and play the clip here, Vash. I know you've got it.
For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term, America should be one of those representations. Like, it's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. It's kind of, this is kind of like an aspect of a dream coming true. When I was a kid.
Did he know that he made a mistake, which is why he couldn't? He was kind of silent there. I mean, that is unbelievable. I understand he's an international audience and they're trying to get international viewership for this thing. But man, is that unbelievably tone deaf. And any chance this film had just went away right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the point, right? Vash is the fact that this now is going to go incredibly viral. It's already started. I mean, basically everybody's starting to see this now. You have Clay Travis, national sports personality, commenting on it. You have half of Hollywood now being subjected to this. I mean, if you look at Hollywood putting their foot in it over the course of the last week because they don't know what to do because they watched more effectiveness in 5 days than they got for the entire 4 years of the previous administration, they're all terrified and reacting to it. And he wants to make put his best foot forward to a European audience. But I'm going to tell you right now, the people who are going to care about this movie they want to be America, especially after the last 5 days. This was the stupidest thing he could come out and say. And now that it's going to be probably the most viral thing of the week, I'm telling you right now, this is not going to stop chugging. This is very, very bad for him. Probably any future project. If this movie tanks as hard as I think it's going to, I think they're going to point to the fact that you cannot mantle change, this is the problem. Remantling does not work. Disney still hadn't learned this lesson and threw another $425 million into a hole and is setting it on fire. And Anthony Mack just, threw some gasoline on it. This is not good. And I cannot wait for the damage that Snow White does to the company.
You-
Maybe the marketplace teaches Disney the lesson, but I hope it's the federal government so nobody else does it.
Well, we've also got an example of the Daredevil showrunner not being able to get out of their own way here when marketing here. I don't know who trains their actors at Disney, but there's supposed to be a publicist that helps you to frame all of these things. And whoever that publicist is maybe doesn't need to be an LA person. I'm just going to repeat again what he's saying is not America here. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity. Okay, so I'm gonna steelman him a little bit here when he says this. Is he saying that Captain America needs to be someone that has honor, dignity, and integrity and
Aren't
keep his
those
word? Those are aspirational views, right? And by the way, is that not how they would describe Steve Rogers, a guy who keeps his word, has honor, dignity, and integrity? So Captain America, no, is not supposed to represent the state of America how it is. In fact, that character is never supposed to represent America and how it is right now. He is
Right.
supposed to represent America and how it's supposed to be, the ideals of America. He's supposed to be an American hero. So the idea that he's out here saying, no, Captain America doesn't need to represent America. I'm sorry. This is so silly. This is a complete misunderstanding of what this character is supposed to be. This is Superman murdering people and acting like a psychopath. This is the kind of thing that makes me question who they have in charge of this corporate product. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you telling Anthony Mackie to say these things?
I have no idea. I mean, those are intrinsically American aspirational values right there. I mean, to steelman him even further, is there a chance that he said may have meant like not just America? Because that would make far more sense.
I
Am
didn't
I
do
wrong?
a very good job of steelmanning him there. I just ended up getting even more frustrated with what he said. This is, and Mackie, sometimes Mackie says things that I don't think he really thinks about what he says. I just sent this to Marvin. That's fascinating.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Well, the Make Daddy a Sandwich one, that one was pretty funny. There was an article out of the Wrap where they were quoting Anthony Mackie saying, "Why do you have to have a black director for Black Panther? Seabiscuit wasn't directed by a horse," and he got so much flack for saying that. But he had a good point. Also, I hear that Ryan Coogler actually pushed back on Marvel because it's one of those rare instances where Marvel actually hired somebody who had a few successful films under his belt that were maybe not in the giant, $200 million superhero range, but the guy had worked with Stallone. He had worked on films that had acclaim. It's not like, I'm not even going to say the name of this actress, but she presided over one of the biggest flops in movie history, let alone MCU history. She had directed a small horror film and then directed a huge big budget film. I don't think she was ready for what Marvel was going to do by chewing her up and spitting her out before
Absolutely.
that movie made it to theaters here. So I think that Marvel right now has a television series posing as a series of films, and they need to figure out what their messaging is. The reason I say all of this is because the showrunner for Daredevil is also out here insulting the original Daredevil. Hey guys, what's the big marketing push for this series on Disney Plus as opposed to every other series on Disney Plus?
It harkens back to something you like, which was the original Daredevil series on Netflix.
I know, right? The whole idea is we promise you this will be just like the original. This story out of that Park Place. Daredevil Born Again showrunner trashes original Netflix series, doubles down on Disney's biggest repeated mistake. Here again from Marvin Montanaro. Let's go to the quote here. In an interview with SFX magazine, Scardapane, who is the showrunner, I think it's Dario Scardapane, took thinly veiled shots at the original show, describing its introspective storytelling as navel gazing, and promises his version would have a lot more fun and a lot less grousing about their lot in life. If this is Marvel's way of drumming up excitement, it's a disaster in the making. I don't know why someone would say something like this.
I mean, it's crazy. This is absolutely insane. All you had to do, I mean, if you really wanted to set yourself apart from the Marvel Netflix series just a tad bit, you could just say, yeah, there were some episodes that may have been drawn out there. We want to go ahead and increase the pace because we have so much story to tell. You could do it in a way that doesn't disparage the previous title, but maybe improves upon it or builds on top of it. Doing it this way, though, now you've just dropped the enthusiasm for this series substantially. Culture, go ahead, please.
It's just strange to me. I mean, you built up some returning goodwill, some excitement, some hype. I think that, well, it's the same problem that we talked about with Mackie. These people have no skill when it comes to interacting with the press when everything's going to go to the public. You are letting them say things that are only detrimental to your efforts. I'm going to tell you right now, if I get any whiff of this kind of garbage in this show, I will, for the better part of 2 months, just dress this thing down as it is required. I'm not going to give it any slack, for lack of a better way to put it. I will not. I won't say, oh, it's going to get better, because that's often what you hope with Disney things. So this might get better. This ain't going to get better. If it starts out garbage and if it has any inkling of any modernity in it, I'm done. And I think most people will be as well. So
I think because we also need to wrap up the show here, I just want to point out this guy. Okay, Daredevil on Netflix was not a perfect series. The first season was fantastic. The second season was less so, but still really good. The Punisher, really good. There were some moments of navel gazing in that show, but no one wants to remember that when they're getting hyped for this show. Insulting the original series, the only thing that people are going to remember are the things they really liked about the show. So this sounds like he's talking about that scene between Punisher and Daredevil and their argument on the rooftop where Daredevil is chained to a chimney and talking about half measures and all that kind of stuff. Like the great scenes are the scenes that people remember, because those quiet ones in the middle, people don't remember those scenes. So all this does is make it look like he's saying, we've got something better than that Marvel Netflix series, which is the dumbest thing that you could say as a showrunner. So my question is, Marvel, why are you even bother? Don't even market these shows anymore. Don't send out your showrunners. Stop asking. Tell them to not be on social media. Why are you putting Anthony Mackie out there and telling him to insult America on the global stage in the age of the internet? This is like shut up and sing territory with Dixie Chicks right now. What are you doing? All right, as promised, here is that update. Anthony Mackie walks back comments on Captain America, but stops short of saying he represents America. This by Marvin Montanaro. Look at that. Anthony Mackie right there, looking distraught off into the middle distance. After igniting backlash with the statement that Captain America shouldn't represent America, Anthony Mackie has taken to social media in an apparent attempt at damage control. Here is his statement. And again, Marvin used my tweet here saying that it shouldn't have been written in Comic Sans. Anthony Mackie posted an Instagram story saying, "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to." I see so many problems with this statement right here. Vash, it sounds like an apology, but it's not really an apology. What are your thoughts on this?
I didn't see an apology there either. I really didn't see a walking back of, America being part of Captain America, which was, I think, the biggest thing for many people hearing this story. The apology should have read something like, "Hey, my opinion is that Captain America embodies so much more than just America. That's what I really meant to say. But he embodies the aspirational values that all Americans seek to uphold." Didn't really do that. Apparently, he was a little bit more concerned with how servicemen and women might react to this, which is interesting, but not of the American citizen's opinion, it would seem.
Right. And that's strange, because I don't think anyone was interpreting what he said as specifically reflecting on servicemen, which, by the way,
right,
both Captain America and whatever he wants. I mean, we've jokingly called him Captain Falcon in all of this, but it sounds like he would prefer that the character be called Captain Falcon. But of course, Captain Falcon is Captain Falcon Japanese, or is he an American living in Japan in the F-Zero series? It doesn't really enter into this conversation, though, does it? I think it's so strange that, first of all, both Captain Americas definitely servicemen, and that you would have someone named Captain America say, well, I don't really want to be Captain America. I just want to be Captain I don't know of what. This is a character that is so tied to his identity as an American that it's bizarre that anyone would try to distance the IP that they're attached to away from America. I feel like Anthony Mackie has been in California for way too long and let some of whatever is wrong with the water there seep into his brain. This is absolutely bizarre to me. Also, I have not gotten used to the idea of calling Captain Falcon Cap. That is when you're going for the nickname area here, that is definitely the Chris Evans Captain America in my mind, who also made comments that are kind of anti-American as well. But people had more faith in those movies being good because they separated Chris Evans, the person, from Captain America, the guy. Anthony Mackie is playing a dude on screen. I don't see the separation between Anthony Mackie and Captain Falcon here. I don't know. This whole thing is so bizarre in trying to say that Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. If there was when you're doing Captain Boomerang, to name another captain from a different comic book universe, everyone expects him to have an Australian perspective, not maybe an ideal Australian perspective, but very much expecting him to be an Aussie. When you have Captain Britain, who I know nothing about that character, I'm assuming that the guy wearing the Union Jack costume has something to do with Britain. This feels like the opposite of marketing. And it feels like Rachel Zegler saying that we're not going to be doing the whole romance thing that Snow White was actually about when we do the remake of Snow White. This is bizarre, and I feel like this is a non-apology apology, and it will be gone within 24 hours because it's an Instagram story instead of but of course it's here on That Park Place if you want to go catch it. This is such a non-apology apology. Do you think Disney forced him to do this, Vash?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were getting a lot of heat from a lot of different places. I mean, it was all over my X feed yesterday, and people might think, oh, you only follow one site. Oh no. I incorporate many different sites because, well, we cover theme parks from every single place we can cover them. But it was all over my X feed. I mean, it was just, everybody was talking about it, and everybody was kind of appalled at these comments here. Some people defending, some people saying, well, Captain America, Steve Rogers, I mean, he fought the American government, and what is it, Captain America's 2 and 3. I will say this, though. America's more than just the federal government. America's more than the bureaucracy. It is an ideal. It is a value. It is a people's. It is a culture. It is a place. So that really doesn't get Anthony Mackie out of hot water here. And so I think the company did mandate that we really need $100 million at least from this film on opening weekend. You got to go out. You got to correct this wrong here. Now, the WWE Pro on the Bro Show actually asked his audience's panel, which was worse, Rachel Zegler or Anthony Mackie. And in this case, I think Anthony Mackie was far worse, just given the timing of everything going on within the country right now. I think Critical Drinker, said this, and other people were saying that patriotism within the country is kind of on the upswing. So to have what is perceived as an anti-patriotic comment at a time when you're trying to promote a very expensive film like Captain America 4, just ill-timed.
I would agree. And by the way, Marvin Montanero points out an attempt to appease without actually apologizing. I think you should all go read this piece. We'll have it linked below. And this is something that could be right place, right time if Disney wasn't ashamed of America. And unfortunately, Anthony Mackie is a guy that I'm going to say has been given the benefit of the doubt for a very long time because there's been an inkling of maybe maybe some base takes in there. Back in the Black Panther days, he said you don't have to have Black Panther directed by a black director because a horse didn't have to direct Seabiscuit. Now, I think that his Hollywood compatriots probably re-educated him on that point. I don't know if it was against his will or if he said, you know what, no, I would like to make money in Hollywood. I don't know that I personally would like to make money in Hollywood because it sounds like the longer people are there, the less intelligent they become. But that being said, I'm planning on watching Captain America Brave New World in theaters because I still have a Disney gift card that I cannot use on anything not Disney. Vash, are you going to go check this one out?
No.
Anybody in the audience going to go check this out and share my pain? Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, let us know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like this video. And if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.